Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. Just look at that sight down there. A huge crowd of people assembled. The show is already started. You know what I'm going to say. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. I sit them down with one of our regular dealers. They'll try and tempt you. They'll try and buy your goods off you.
60.
No.
Not tempted?
Not even a little tiny bit. No, no.
If I don't think that offer is good enough, I'm going to say do not accept that offer under any circumstances. Have a gamble. Go to auction. You just might get a little bit more money there. Today the show comes to you from Nottingham. Great crowd. We've already started. People are determined to do business. You know why they're here. They want to walk away with cash in their pocket and go to auction. They want the real deal.
Nigel's brought a Henry Moore lithograph that Corey Jeffrey is sure to be excited about.
And I cannot believe what's here. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yes, it's a Moore lithograph from the Stonehenge series, early 70s I believe it, 1973, of which I think this is one of 15 lithographs from that series.
And you can see it is Stonehenge. There are the line downstairs. This at first to me looked like water, but it's not.
Right.
It's the ground. And these are the lovely grassy slopes behind. And the texture, I think, is really nice. How did you come by it?
Well, I've had it quite a few years, actually. I'm not quite sure where I bought it. I think it was at an antiques fair.
I hate to say this, it's a little bit phallic. For me, personally, that is a little bit phallic. Right. Is that one of the reasons you wanted to get to sell it?
No, I think with it being, I feel it's a startling piece. And we are sort of, hanging pictures here and there and everywhere, and it's just a question of sort of rotating one's paintings to make a room look different. So maybe it's time to put something else there.
So let's start. Okay. Put down 50. 100. 150. 200, 250, 300, 350, 400 on the table.
Right. I think with the resurgence of Moore at the moment, even in the past 3 months, that it's probably worth certainly a little bit more than that.
You really know what you're talking about with regard to Henry Moore, and here comes somebody else who knows what he's talking about.
Well, Henry Moore in recent years, has just gone into the stratosphere, hasn't he, price-wise for original works of art. But even this, a lithograph, and is it 58 out of 60?
Yes.
5 to 7 is the independent valuers on the auctioneer, and I think that's fairly current. It wouldn't surprise me at auction with the right combination of bidders if it ran away over that either. So, it's a tricky one. You need the right buyer or the right two buyers to compete against each other. I'm going to leave you and see what else is on the table before we make a decision.
Thank you.
So I'm going to gamble a bit more.
Right.
I'm going to put 450. I'm going to go to 500.
Well, I think it is a fair offer. I'm just wondering if you do like it a little more, where I can be a lot more definite about not putting it through the auction.
I'm very near.
Yes.
I'll put another 20 on the table.
Right.
And I think I'm there at 520.
Yeah, okay, I'll accept that.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Both of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, it's not worth going to auction for the risk, so I was very happy with that, and therefore both of us are happy.
We'll find out later if the picture makes Corrie happy by giving her a profit. over to John Parker, where Christine popped in for tea.
Well, we've got a tea service here. Tell me a bit about it, how you came by it, and is there a story with it? We love stories.
It's a sad story, really. It belonged to my husband's aunt. It was a 21st birthday gift from her fiancé during the First World War.
Right.
He never came home, and she lived to be 86, and she never married.
Really?
Never married. And
True
I do
love.
have a photograph
True love.
of her.
Can we see the photograph? Which is her? That one there. That's nice. Lovely family shot. All beautifully dressed, unlike a lot of them today.
Yeah.
So we can date this pretty well to just prior to the First World War.
That's what I've been like. That's the story
Yes.
I've always been told.
Well, I mean, it's silver plate. I mean,
Yes,
you know that, and it's
Yeah.
underneath. It's marked Academy plate.
Yeah.
300 as a design, and I thought to myself, seeing these swags, we call them floral swags, is very what I call Edwardian, sort of like early 1900s,
Right.
when there was a revival of the Sheraton style, the nice light sort of rather feminine thing.
Right.
And I thought to myself, that's what this is. Here we go, the swags. It's really lovely quality.
Yes.
You've got the teapot, you've got the milk jug, and you've got the sugar basin. And you've got this nice sort of little decoration here. And I don't think this has ever had a lid.
No.
But you've obviously got an idea of what it's worth.
Yeah.
And you're not going to tell me, are you? No. Well, let's start with one of those. So I'm going to do 20, 30 pounds.
That's a nice start. It's a nice start.
Oh, it's a start. Oh, I see. So you want me to sort of put more down, do you? Well, I'm another £10. That's £40. And how about that? I can see you're tempted.
No, you can't. No.
It's a lovely story, but the story doesn't help me. You see, that's the thing.
But it's so lovely, you know.
It's very well. All right. Reluctantly, I'm going to put another £10 down, and that is me, as they say, done. £50.
I'm thinking, how many times I've polished it? Is that a pound of polish?
Pound of polish. I love that.
I think that's fair. I'll take that.
You think that's fair? Thank you
very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's trot over to David Tupman, where Tracy's brought in something from a name we're all sure to know.
You brought us a wonderful horse along.
I have, yes.
Can you tell us a bit about it?
Not really, no. We've had it for a while now. We've had him as presents over the years off my father-in-law because he worked for Beswick, so...
I see. It's of Desert Orchid, the great Desert Orchids. Was he a racing fan? Or did he just buy it because it was one of the lines?
It's just because he worked there and he used to just get us presents every Christmas.
Yeah. Here we have the wonderful Desert Orchid. We look underneath and we have Beswick ware, made in England. Normally I'm not terribly interested in Beswick ware, but I am a great fan of this horse, and therefore I am prepared to put a little bit of money down for it. Have you any particular reason why you're selling it?
We're just downsizing and the children don't want it.
And you're not going to miss Desert Orchid when it's gone?
No, not really, no.
You weren't a racing fan then?
No, not really.
All right, well, let's put a little bit of money down. I'm going to put down 20, 30 pounds. How does that sound?
Maybe a bit more.
I don't really want to give much more than that, Tracy, but giddy up, David. Let's see what he has to say.
I'm just galloping in here. The great Desert Orchid. Now, you're a racing man.
I used to be a fan. I am a fan, yes, okay, fair enough.
Have you ever seen, did you ever see?
I've seen Desert Orchid win the Gold Cup and King George VI at Kempton Park, yeah.
50 to 100 is the overall estimation from both the auctioneer and the independent valuers, and they're, you know, from a gambling man, not much of a gamble, is it?
David,
It's not even an each way bet, that.
I'm a fan of the horse, but not of Beswick. David,
Okay,
that's the thing.
so did I hear you say you're not a fan of Beswick? Beswick, because out there are a lot of Beswick people. Don't write in. I didn't say it. David,
Sorry for
David Tuttle said it, not me. So I'm going to say 30 quid. Can't let you take that. We've got to gamble. We've got to just go in there, gallop into the auction, and hope that we can score and do as well as the horse did.
Okay. So how do you feel about it? Are you going to go to auction?
I think I'm going to go to auction.
Oh, terrific. Well, I hope it gallops in for you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thank you
very much indeed for bringing it in.
Thank you. I don't think he offered me enough, so we're going to go to auction.
I'd rather see him in his heyday than see him sitting on the table, basically.
So Tracy's taken the Duke's advice and has turned down David's cash offer. Is she heading for a fall?
40
Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Earlier, Tracy turned down David Tupman's offer of £30 for her Beswick horse. But can auctioneer Colin Young get her a better offer?
A wonderful horse, and of course Beswick, as we all know, is very popular on Dickinson's Real Deal. So let's see what happens.
There we go, it's got its plinth base and also the original box to go with it as well. There we go, what should we say for this one? Who's going to be starting me at 80, 50 if you like, then £50 anybody, 50, 30, then 30. 30 bid, 5, 40 do you have for me now? 40, 40 bid, 45 bid, 50, 50 bid, at £50 bid, 5 now, 55, bid 60, are we back on the net at 60?
The Beswick bidders on the internet.
5-8 is the last call, done and finished and selling then in the room at £65.
65 was the hammer price. Take away the auction, it's around £53. It's close to 53 quid. That's what you're going home with. That was the real deal.
That certainly was, David. Well done, Tracy. Back in the dealer's den, here's hopeful seller Paul.
I bought my wife's grandfather's First World War medals as he was killed at the Somme. And what we're hoping to do is, if we can raise some money today, to visit the memorial and see his name on the memorial, because he didn't get a grave.
Hello. Let's see if James Lane's able to help.
Nice to meet you.
Now, you brought along a selection of medals.
I have, yes.
Family medals?
They are family medals. They're my wife's father's father. Because of when he died, which was on the 3rd of July in 1916, Judith's father never saw him because he was born on the 26th of July that same year.
Terrible.
So it is. But having said that, Judith's dad, I think, caught up a few years because he lived to be 94.
Oh, well,
he died in 2000.
Getting a bit back, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yeah.
I have to say, the first thing I would say to people who bring medals along is, why are you selling them?
What we're going to do is go to see the memorial in France where Robert's name's engraved, because it was one of the unlucky ones that never had a grave.
It didn't have a grave?
No.
So what you've got here is the victory medals.
Yes.
Which every soldier was awarded.
Yes.
That's the silver victory medal, and this is the 1914-18 star, I think it's called.
Yes.
And that's another victory medal. Yeah. And this, of course, is the death plaque.
Exactly,
which only got awarded to families who lost somebody.
That's right. Yeah.
And I see he was called Robert Stiles. So let's just turn this over and we can see what his regiment was, which you probably know anyway, but it's on here. It's the Royal Fusiliers.
Royal Fusiliers, yes.
Yeah. Terrible. But, we've got to talk about money. So out it comes. So I'd like to offer you 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, and one of those, 130.
I think they're worth a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Because of the story behind them.
Yes, yeah. And I don't know whether that affects what medal collectors will pay.
I think usually if there's a little bit of a story, they have a little bit more meaning, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, 130, and another 20, 150.
I think we're a bit nearer.
I think I'm very near.
I think you're getting close.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll put one more down. And I think that's probably about as much as I want to give. So
I think that's a good deal.
160.
I'll accept that. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for bringing them along, and I'll try and find them a good home.
Yes, I hope you can.
And good luck with your trip.
Yes, all the best, Paul. It's a busy day here in Nottinghamshire, the birthplace of novelist, poet and painter D.H. Lawrence. We're joining the Duke where he sat down with Liz Moran, curator of the D.H. Lawrence Heritage Collection.
Tell me about Lady Chatterley's Lover, because I seem to remember as a young man, suddenly around the 60s, there was this controversy about this book. But it was published on the continent, where obviously there was a much more broad-minded public for this type of novel. When did it first get published?
Well, Lawrence published it himself, actually. He completed it in 1928, and he'd written it in Italy, so he published it in Florence. Then a lot of pirate copies sprang out, mainly in America, and to beat that, he published another copy, which is this one down here.
This is a
French one. And
what year was that?
That's 1929. Yeah. And the French copy, the French laws, censorship laws, were a lot more relaxed.
Of course.
Than the censorship laws here.
He's a love, though.
Well, exactly, exactly.
So there's one item here that rather fascinates me. Now that's obviously a piece of coal, and it is a pen or desk stand.
Yeah, it's a pen stand, that's right.
Tell me about it.
Well, this was carved by D.H. Lawrence for his cousin John. One of the things that you've got to remember about that period was that people didn't have a lot of money to spend on presents.
What period are we talking now?
So this was made probably around about 1905, early 1900s.
How old would he be then?
He'd probably been late teens, early 20s. We don't have a particular date for this one.
Of course, we tend to think of him as a literary genius, I suppose, but he could paint as well.
He could paint as well, and he loved to paint, actually. He loved to paint. This particular one was probably copied from a book, which is usually what he did, and he gave them as gifts.
Bit of a Dutch scene, it looks like.
Yes, yeah. We know this was given as a gift. There's a little greeting on the back, good wishes for health and happiness.
Okay. Two watches here.
Yes.
We don't know which one belonged to Lawrence, but
don't.
We know they are all family pieces, so tell me about those.
Well, these were two watches given to D.H. Lawrence and to his brother George on the occasion of their 21st birthdays. They were kept by their younger sister Ada and donated to Nottingham City Council.
Couple of photographs there of D.H. Lawrence. What age are we talking here?
Well, this one, a bit earlier, he was about 28 in that one. This later one was taken just a year before he died. You can see he's actually looking quite ill there. And this was the year after he wrote Lady Chatterley's Lover.
What kind of a man was he? I mean, the books, we know the subject matter, but what kind of a man was D.H. Lawrence?
I think, in a way, he was a man that wasn't afraid to challenge convention. One of his friends said of him after he died, he did nothing that he didn't really want to do, and all that he wanted to do, he did. And after all, he's the one that's remembered, and not the people that censored him.
To really know the man, you need to read more of his books and novels, and I think you will really get to learn a lot more about him.
Our next seller is Barry, who's brought along an intriguing picture.
I have no idea what it's worth, if anything. So just have to see how we go.
Let's hope David Tupman knows its worth.
You've brought us in a painting of a rabbi.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about it?
When my father died, we had to clear his garage out. It was hanging on the wall in a plastic bag, but it was hanging the right side of the garage because the other side was wet through.
And have you sort of had it looked at or checked out at all?
Not at all.
Very finely and realistically painted.
Yes.
And up in the top corner here we have O. Eichinger. This is Otto Eichinger, and he was an Austrian. And he was born in 1922 and died in 2004.
Oh.
So he's recently died, but his paintings are actually fetch a reasonable amount of money in auction.
Oh, gosh.
But if I picked that up and had a quick look at it to start off with, I'd have thought, well, that looks like a reproduction.
Yes.
But because he was painting until 2004, I mean, it's very possible that it was a late painting.
My wife did have it sort of valued once.
Oh, yeah. And what did they say?
He said it was a print and he'd give £1 for it.
OK, well, I'm prepared to give you a fiver.
Oh, sure, yes.
No, it is definitely a painting. Let's put some money on the table.
Right.
Yeah?
OK.
Let's see how we go. Where's that fiver?
Okay. A little more, I hope.
OK, I'm going to put down 50, 100, 150, 200, £250.
You're a bit too eager to put that money down. I wonder how much it would be worth.
If I was a rich man, I think it's great. I really am taken by that. Independent valuers and auctioneers, they go in different directions. One's a 4 to 6, one's a 4 to 8. It doesn't have a lot of age, but what it has is quality, superb quality, and it's got character. Okay. I mean, you thought it was worth little money thrown in the back of the garage.
That's right, yes.
Barry took it to be valued, and it was valued at £1.
Ah.
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
Who said that? Oh, we won't say that on television, so we don't get a lawsuit.
That's right.
But whoever said that was trying to rob you.
I think so.
Well, I offered him a fiver and he turned me down.
Okay. Whoever said that was also trying. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to say, have faith in this. This could go to a picture dealer that might just put a twinkle in his eye. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right, Barry. Well, I've been put firmly in my place, haven't I, with that offer. I'm going to increase my offer to 300, 350, £400.
I think I'm going to gamble.
Take it to auction.
Take it.
I think you've done the right thing. I think it's a great picture.
That's very good.
And I hope it does very, very well for you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks
You've
very
been
much
very
indeed.
good. Thank you very much. I was very, very surprised how much there was offered for it, but I think I'll take it to auction to see how we go.
I regret not being a little more generous. On the other hand, I thought Barry was a lovely bloke, and I really hope that I made him look very stupid at sale, and I hope he does very well because he's such a nice guy.
After the break, we'll find out if auctioneer Colin will make Barry a rich man.
75 bid, 80 bid, 80 bid.
Let's see what happens. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Thank you very much indeed.
We saw Barry turn down David Tubman's offer of £400 for his Rabbi painting. But has he done the right thing?
It was a small portrait of a rabbi holding an open book, an oil painting on a panel. My feeling is no matter what happens today, I can tell you as a professional, don't worry. What you've got here is very commercial and it's very saleable. I think it's got a lot of potential, so let's see what happens.
What should we say for this? Who's going to start me straight in at bottom estimate, 400. 400, 3, £200, anybody? 200, 200, at 200, 220, 240, 260, 280, at 260 bid, 280 now, at 280, 300, 320, 340, 360, 380 may I say, 380 in the room, 400 now do I see, at 400 surely, at 380, it's the ladies bid at 380, I have commission bids at 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500, 500.
Commission bids against a bid in the room.
At 550 bid, 600 now surely, 600, 650, 700, 750.
Now we're getting there.
At £750, we're on the market at 750. Are there any more bids?
It looks like it's going to sell at 750.
Selling on the book at 750.
Okay, bid on the book at 750. We have commission to take off that. That is £615.
Yes.
What are you going to do with the money?
Possibly another holiday in Israel.
Another holiday in Israel?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds right to me. Maybe Dad thought all along, hey, vey, I'll put that little picture in the back in the back of the shed there, so our Barry will find it and then cash it in and take a wonderful holiday to Israel. The real deal was here in the sale room, 750 quid. Take home, £615. Barry's happy?
Yes.
I'm happy, but I would have liked to have seen more. That was the real deal.
Back to the dealer's den. Let's
Hello,
catch
I'm
up
John.
with John.
I'm Sally.
Sally, how very nice to meet you. You brought a miniature along.
Yes.
What can you tell me about it? Is it a family thing?
Well, my husband always went to auctions.
Oh, yes.
He kept coming home with different things. And he's been dead 31 years, but I've had it ever since almost just after I was married. And he got it at an auction in Surbiton, Surrey, where I used to live.
Really?
Yes. And I've always had it. And when we had a big open fireplace, we used to have it on one side and I have another thing similar. I used to put that side.
Oh, right.
Now I've got central heating and nowhere to put it, really.
Well, let's have a look at it more closely. I'm going to lift it up.
Yes.
And as you can see, it's a painting of a young lady
Yes.
in a gilt metal frame.
Mm.
I suspect it's painted on ivory. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's... It's definitely on ivory. You know, she's pretty, and she's a Regency period,
That's
I
what I
suspect.
thought, yes.
Sort of 1800, 1820.
That's what I imagined.
I mean, the hairstyle...
Yes.
That gives it away, as does the dress, sort of the Empire line.
Yeah.
And if we turn it over, so you've got a beautiful... It looks like engine turning, they called it.
Yes,
but
very
it's beautifully done.
Yes.
So if you sell it, what are you going to do with the money? You're going to
Oh,
buy another one?
no. I'm going on holiday in July abroad,
Yes.
so have some extra spending money, I suppose.
Absolutely,
There we are.
Well, let me see if I can tempt you. That's 20. It's 40. 60.
No,
Not tempted.
no, not at all.
Not even.
Not even a little tiny bit. No,
80.
no, still not tempted.
Still not tempted.
No.
Not even that spending money on holiday.
No.
Well, 100.
That's better.
I think that's actually sort of all I want to give for it.
Wouldn't give another 20.
No, I think that's me done. That's where I'm at.
Well, I'll accept it then.
Okay, Sally, thank you very much
Thank you very
indeed.
much. Thank you. I probably could have got a bit more if I'd gone to auction. But really, better £100 than lying around.
Well, it was your treasure and your call, Sally. Now, Caroline's looking for an energetic bid from James.
Can you give us a demonstration?
I might end up hitting someone on the head, and that would be
in that
great.
case, we won't ask you to do that. I think they're what's called Indian clubs, is that right?
Yeah, I think, as far as I know, they were used for exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what's the history?
Well, they used to belong to my granddad, and they'd always been stored at my granddad's house.
Was he strong? Was he muscly?
Not particularly.
Well, so maybe he didn't use them
Maybe he
enough.
didn't use them.
I mean, they're not that heavy, are
No,
they?
no,
so
they're not
not kind of
massive,
weightlifting
yeah.
things. And they've got these loops on, which would suggest that you kind of do that.
Right, yeah.
And then I suppose you're kind of doing all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Semaphore with them. But I thought at first they were those sort of juggling ones. Well, I suppose you could juggle with
Yeah,
them.
you probably could, yeah.
If you were very good.
Yeah.
and kept well out of the way. So I mean, I'm guessing, but I would think they were about 1900, 1910 in date.
Okay.
These are the sort of late Victorian equivalent of a home gym, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
All you need is those and some parallel bars, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy a rowing machine.
Quite cheap compared to nowadays.
Yeah. Shall I put a bit of money on the table?
That would be good.
See where we go.
Yeah.
Don't think it's going to be very much.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to offer you 20, 30 pounds. What do you think about that? No, David knows about Indian clubs.
Well, I don't think I know as much as you do, James, because I think we're only talking really in that 30, 40, 30, 50, that kind of range. I've got to bear in mind that James has got to go out somewhere, Portobello or somewhere and flog these and make a profit, and that will not be easy.
Probably not.
And anyway, we need to build James up. And so I think that's a fair offer on the table.
So I better give you another...
I think it's worth another £10.
Another tenner. A fool and his money are soon parted. I'll give you 40. Have we got a deal?
Yeah, that's
Goodo. Well,
good,
thanks
thank you.
for bringing them along.
Okay.
And now I'm going to get on with my exercises.
After the break, a piece of great British sporting history lands on Corrie's table.
I'm hoping roughly to get something around about £600.
But has Trevor got record-breaking expectations?
600.
Still not enough.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
For our last deal of the day, Trevor's got high hopes for his rare Donald Campbell racing helmet.
I'm hoping roughly to get something around about £600.
It's attracted the attention of the Duke and auctioneer Colin. Let's see whether Corrie's up to the challenge.
So, do you want to tell me about this helmet?
Well, it's a Hawker Sidley pilot's helmet. And it's believed to be one of 4 used by Donald Campbell in the water speed record on Lake Coniston in 1967, when he was trying to break the water speed record in Bluebird K7.
So this is one of the helmets actually worn by Donald Campbell?
One of 4.
One of 4. Here today?
Yes.
How did it get here?
Well, I've seen an advert in the Nottingham Evening Post saying that there was an helmet used by Donald Campbell coming up for auction at a local auction room. The rest is history today.
Okay, well, we're going to look at some things. First of all, here we have a newspaper. This is the newspaper cutting.
That's the newspaper cutting that was sent prior to the auction.
And it's a clear photograph. You can see it is the helmet, isn't it?
Yes.
And you can see this little bit here, matches the visor.
Yep.
And here we have this pouch went over the visor.
It's a visor cover, yes.
Visor cover to save it. But it is extraordinary because he is one of the great Britons,
Yes.
isn't he? So why do you want to sell it? I mean, it's amazing.
It's starting to flake a little bit. The silver's coming off. And I thought, well, I've had 10 years of it. And if anybody is interested, let them have a bit of fun, have a bit of fun with it. And it's absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much for bringing
That's brilliant,
it in.
no problem.
What do you think about this? I mean, he obviously had quite a bit of equipment. This is not the one used on the fatal run.
No. The first thing I saw was the excitement, really, that I was struggling to contain with it, because I saw it and I immediately thought I knew what it was, because there was a helmet like this sold in the early 1990s in a firm in Nottingham, and I thought, surely it's not going to be that one.
The question is this the normal type of buy for an average buyer in the sale room, or do you need a specialist buyer?
Well, it will be an interesting combination, really, because we do have a few locals that would go for something like this. We recently sold a diver's helmet which had worldwide interest.
I saw that.
It sold well.
Now, Corrie, our dealer, is a great dealer. She's a good buyer, she gives good prices, but is this her cup of tea? Well, let's find out.
Right, well, I'm going to have to think on my feet here as to how much to put on the table. So I'm going to start and put some money down.
Okay.
$5,100, $5,200, $5,300, $5,400, and $500 there.
Okay. I think it's worth quite a bit more than that.
I'm really just thinking like, and 5,600 and 5,700.
Still not enough.
And 5,800. Trevor, we've got 800 on the table. And as I say, I'm thinking on my feet, I'm thinking here's Dave who's going to help both of us, I hope.
Now, before you say anything, Trevor, I mean, I'm just looking across. I was watching Corrie from the sidelines. When this girl wants something, she really wants it, and she's gone straight in with £800. I can tell you now, the independent valuers, they were kind of 700 to 900, and our auctioneer was more 900 to 1200. Can I ask you at this stage, I'm sure our viewers will want to know, what did it cost all in with the premiums and so forth?
With the premium and everything, it cost me £400.
Okay. £400, I think it was a very good buy when you bought it, and it wasn't that long ago, was it?
2001.
2001. Now, it might well be the fat lady here has not finished, so I'm going to get out of the way.
You've got 800 on the table.
Okay.
850, 900. That means you've got to get over 1,000 at auction.
It's a fabulous offer, but I'm going to auction.
Do you know, I think you've made a really wise decision, and I wish you the very, very best of luck. And, you know, it's been lovely, lovely being able to see it and touch it. But thank you
fabulous.
so much for bringing it
That's
in.
no problem.
I think I'd have been tempted to take my profits and take the cash on the day, but I do realise it is a wonderful item, and if you put the combination of the right people together, woo, then you could get some speed up.
Trevor turned down Corrie's cash offer of £900 for his Donald Campbell helmet.
And, you know, it's been lovely.
He's now with David in the sale room.
Now, Trevor, on the dealer's day, you brought in, I think, a wonderful item which belonged to the most charismatic and iconic man, to Donald Campbell. How lucky do you feel?
I feel quite lucky.
Okay. Is it going to break the speed record here in this room? Well, let's find out. Here we go.
What more can we say about it? It's been on the market before, but it was a long time ago and things have changed. So what should we say for it now? £800, anybody? 800? £500, then £500, anybody? 500? Thank you, 500 on the phone then at 500.
Telephone bidders in at £500.
Pounds bid, 550, 550, 600 now. 600 bid now. 650, 700 on the phones now. 700 now. 700 on the telephone at 700. Any more now? 750, 750 on the internet.
Internet's coming against the telephone.
850 on the net. 900 over there at 950. 1,000. 1,000 bid. 1,100 now surely.
We're getting up some speed here.
At 13. It's not unlucky, you know, at 13. 14. 15 now. 1,500 now surely. 1,500. 1,600. 1,700 now. 1,700 bid. I'll take 1,650. Anything to aid progress.
It's at 1,600 on a persistent telephone bidder against the internet.
650 on the net. 1,700 now. 1,700 do I see?
Is the telephone going to back it up? Are they going to take on that little bit more?
At 1,650 on the net then, that appears to be where this record has certainly landed. Thank you very much.
£1,650. Well, first of all, congratulations, because I have the feeling, had it have been me, I probably would have, I think I might have been tempted with the £900 offer, because you just never know in the sale room. But today we had bidders in the sale room, on the internet, on a telephone, competing, and that's what you need. Eventually going to an internet bidder at 1,650 quid. Now there's a chunk of change to be taken off here. That's going to leave you just over £1,350. It's a few pounds just over 1,350. Any idea what you want to spend it on?
Yes, I need a new central heating system.
Going for a new central heating system? Well, that's the real deal.
What an incredible result, Trevor. As for our dealers, have they been getting good results after today's purchases?
200.
Corrie's yet to find a buyer for the Henry Moore lithograph.
Thank you very much. No, thank you very much.
Whilst John is still holding on to the tea set.
I'm thinking how many times I've polished it. It's like a pound of polish.
He sold the 19th century miniature for £120. Jane sold the medals and plaque onto a private collector for £200, but hasn't managed to sell on the Indian clubs.
And then I suppose you're kind of doing all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
As for David Tupman,
50.
he sent everything he's seen to the sale room.
Sorry for
David Tupman said it, not me.
Oh dear dealers, you should take a tip from our sellers who've walked away with nearly £2,000 today. Remember Barry? He found his Rabbi painting in a garage.
He said it was a print and he'd give £1 for it.
43.60.
Then sold it in the sale room for £615. Not to mention Trevor.
Well, we sold the helmet for £1,650, which makes it roughly around £900 profit. Absolutely pleased, over the moon.
Wow, what a fantastic price. Take home £1,353. Now that was a real deal. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.